Hey guys, in this video I'm giving an in-depth review of Apex and I'll cover everything that you need to know before trading with them. I'll cover what rules you need to know, how do you qualify for a payout, do they actually pay out their traders, what account sizes and pricing do they have, what platforms and instruments you can trade with, as well as their overall customer support. And at the end of the video, I'll discuss what are their trading conditions. So what can you expect in terms of slippage and trading fees? So the short answer is yes, I do believe Apex is good. However, there is a whole bunch of really small little rules that you need to be careful of when you trade with them. I'm not paid to make this video. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. This is just my opinion as a trader. So you're probably wondering whether Apex actually pays out their traders, and from what I've seen, they don't have any problems paying you out. However, there's a whole bunch of really small rules that you need to be careful of in order to qualify for a payout, and I'll cover all the rules later in this video. So Apex has been around for about 3 years. They are a futures prop firm. So their headquarters is based in Austin, Texas. So according to their website, they've made 200 million payouts since 2022. This is a lot, and it's probably 5 times the amount TopStep has paid. So TopStep, I believe, has paid around 40 million. So in the last 90 days alone, they've paid out over 75 million payouts, which is crazy. So I mentioned in a previous video when I reviewed TopStep that there's really no way to verify these numbers. Like, I've seen cases where dodgier prop firms lie about their total payouts, but in this case, I don't think they're lying, but always just be skeptical in the trading space anyway. So it's cool that Apex has won a bunch of awards. Apparently the founder, Daryl, has a lot of experience in the trading space, both as an educator and also a trader. So it's nice to see that he's not just a marketing person or business person, that he does have a background in trading. So the Trustpilot looks pretty good. There are a lot of reviews. I've gone through some of the reviews myself and they seem decent. However, in saying that, I take a lot of this as a grain of salt because I have seen prop firms lie on their Trustpilot. You can buy fake reviews and you're never really sure if this is a real person or not. So take it with a grain of salt. So you'll start your challenge on an evaluation account, and then once you pass the challenge, they'll move you onto what they call a PA account or a performance account. This is pretty much their version of a funded account. So you go from evaluation to the challenge, and then they'll move you to a funded PA account. So depending on where you trade, they have both Rhythmic plans or Tradeovate plans. For example, if you trade with, let's say, Sierra Charts or Quant Tower, you can go with the Rhythmic option, or if you trade with Tradeovate, then you obviously select the Tradeovate plans. Apex has 7 different account sizes ranging from 25k to 300k. This is a lot more than other futures firms like TopStep and My Funded Futures, who only have 3 account sizes. It's great that they have different types of options for different traders, whether you're looking to take something a bit cheaper, just to trial it and see how you go, or whether you want to scale up quickly, you can do that as well. So one thing that's really good about Apex is you can trade a total of 20 funded accounts, whereas with other firms like TopStep, they only allow you to have 5 funded accounts. So if you want to scale quickly with Apex, you can. The profit to drawdown ratio increases as you purchase larger account sizes. So for example, on a 25k account, the profit to drawdown ratio is 1, whereas on a 300k account, it's 2.6. In terms of price, it's slightly different from Forex prop firms. So they have a monthly price, and then when you pass a challenge, they have a one-time activation fee. For a 100k account, it's $207 per month, but they always have these 70% discount codes on their website. So for a 100k account, you're really only paying $62 after the discount. There's also a one-time activation fee when you pass a challenge. This fee will depend on whether you chose Rhythmic or Tradeovate, and also the account size that you've selected. For example, on a Rhythmic 100k account, you pay a fee of $220. You can also pay this activation fee as a monthly payment of $85 instead per month. If you choose a monthly payment option to activate the account, it's a static $85 regardless of what account size you pick. One thing that you need to be really careful of, and what I've noticed with Apex, is when you purchase anything with them, they don't offer any refunds. So they're really strict with this, and you have to be careful because if you pick the wrong account type or the wrong challenge, they won't refund you. Unfortunately, on your first payout, they don't give any refunds of your last month's challenge fees. I know with TopStep, they actually refund your last month's challenge fees with your first payout. It's not a huge deal breaker because the monthly fee is pretty small, but it's nice to know anyway. So one thing that I've noticed that I need to point out is that on their website, they always say there's a big 70% discount and it's running out in X amount of hours. They probably do this to try encourage you to buy, but the discount has always been there, so just, yeah, don't fall for that. So I think overall the price is very reasonable with Apex. It's definitely one of the pros about trading with Apex, and it's nice. Okay, so in terms of trading targets, you have a profit target of 6%, and Apex has a max loss of 3%. But you need to be really careful because it's a trailing loss. On an evaluation account, the trailing loss does not end and will continue to follow you until the profit goal is reached. Whereas on a funded or live account, the trailing loss does end. So the trailing loss will follow you until your initial account balance plus $100. So for example, on a 100K account, it will trail you until $100,100. So one really bad thing about Apex is that the trailing loss is based on unrealized profits intraday, whereas with other firms like TopStep or My Funded Futures, the max loss is actually based on end of day balance. Oh, by the way, I also did a review of TopStep, so if you want to have a look at TopStep, you can click on the screen to see that video. So I'm really not a huge fan of trailing losses. It's probably one of the biggest red flags about Apex. I see a lot of traders complaining about this in their Discord and through reviews. It's a bit trickier to pass with this, and I know a lot of traders get caught out by this, so just be really careful. So the really cool thing though is that if you're not a fan of the trailing loss, Apex has a static drawdown account, so you can purchase a 100K challenge with static drawdown, meaning your drawdown won't change as you go into profit. So in terms of platforms, if you're on Rhythmic, there are 14 platforms that you can choose from. For example, Quant Tower, NinjaTrader, MotiveWave, a lot of the common platforms. They also have integration with TradingView, which is fantastic. So if you like trading with TradingView, you can do that. So in terms of the instruments that you can trade with most of the popular instruments. So for example, equity futures, interest futures, currency futures, ag futures, energy futures. So you do have a lot of options. Okay, so trading rules. So Apex does have a whole bunch of rules that you need to be aware of. They have what they call consistency rules, where in summary, they don't really want traders who gamble and take high risks. You need to have a defined trading system with set rules for entries, stops, and take profits. If you're gambling, they may request you to explain your system. Evaluation accounts don't have a consistency rule, only the PA and live funded accounts. There's an article on their website that details all their rules, but it is quite long, so I'm going to help summarize this. So with Apex, they have what they call a 30% consistency rule, where when you request a payout, you can't have 30% of your profits generated from one single trading day. For example, if you have 10K in payouts, you can't have made 3K in one trading day. After your 4th month of payouts, or once you have been moved to a live prop trading account, Apex does remove this rule for you. So Apex also has a contract size consistency rule. What this means is that on average, you can't be taking a huge amount of contracts on one trade and then a small amount of contracts on another. You need to keep to a system and a set of rules. They don't want you to gamble and take a huge amount of risk. So it's a little bit of a weird gray area, but they do give an example where your account may be terminated. Starting to trade on an account with a larger number of contracts, make a simulated balance increase, then go down in contract size just to get a withdrawal is not a qualified strategy and is ground for forfeit and payout denial. They also do state that it doesn't mean every single trade needs to be exactly the same contract size. They just want to see some consistency on average. So Apex also has what they call a max contract rule. Depending on what platform you choose, there's going to be a max number of contracts that your system will allow you to place. So for example, if you chose a plan where your max contracts is 10, so you can't keep trading 10 max contracts every single time, and if you repeatedly abuse this, they will terminate your account with no refund or payout. Apex also has some prohibited trading styles. So for example, you can't hedge, which basically means buying and selling in both directions. You're also not allowed to do dollar cost averaging or DCA, which is another term for grid trading. If you don't really know what grid trading is, then don't worry about it, you'll be fine. But pretty much what grid trading is where, let's say you take a buy and your position goes against you, you take another buy and then it goes against you, and then you take another buy and then it goes against you and take another buy, with the hopes that soon the price will retrace back up. Your trades also need to have a stop loss or exit plans in place. Another really important rule is around your stop loss and your risk to reward. So you can't place your stop loss greater than 4 times the amount of your take profit. So for example, if let's say your take profit is $100 in profit, you can't risk more than $400 in that trade. So you can't put your stop loss to greater than $400. So unfortunately, EAs and automated robots are not allowed. Apex also doesn't allow any form of news trading at all, and they're very strict about this. It's also really important to remember that all your positions must be closed by 4:59 p.m. Eastern Time. This also includes any pending orders, so all your positions, including pending orders. You can resume trading at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So just be careful though, for some products like agricultural, you may need to close your trades earlier. On a funded account, the first $25,000 in profits that you make, you can actually keep 100% of it. This is great. After this amount, the profit split will be 90%. I believe this is better than Top Step. So with Top Step, only the first $10,000 in profit, you can keep 100%. Also note that there is a minimum balance that you need to have in order to request a payout. Here are the amounts for different account sizes. So for example, on a 100K account, you're going to need a minimum of $103,100 before you can request any payout. And on a 50K account, you will need a minimum balance of $52,600 to request a payout. You can request a payout twice a month. It can take up to 21 days for money to land in your account. So for example, you can request a payout on the 1st and 5th of the month. There's then an approval process that can take up to the 14th. They will send out the money and it will then take around 3 to 7 business days to actually land in your bank. Another thing you need to know is that you have to have a minimum of 10 trading days between payout requests. So one good thing about Apex is there's no buffer that you have to leave on the account. So for example, with firms like Top Step, you can only withdraw 50% of your profits, but with Apex, you're allowed to. So on your first 3 months of withdrawals, there's also a maximum amount that you can actually withdraw. So for example, in the first 3 months of your payouts, the max you can withdraw on a 100K account is $2,500. So in terms of customer support, I've definitely noticed that the customer support isn't really the best compared to other prop firms. So the support can sometimes be slow. I know a number of traders that have complained about this, and I have also experienced this as well. I messaged them on their website about 5 days ago and I still haven't gotten a response. There's also no live chat, but there is a chatbot. It's not really helpful, especially if you need help with complex questions. There is a form on their website where you can leave a message and they'll try to get back to you as quickly as possible, but it may take some time. Other firms like FTMO have a 24/7 live chat. It would be great if they could do something similar. Their website and dashboard is a little outdated. It's not the best UX. They do have a bit of a social media presence. They have a YouTube where they post videos, and they also have an active Discord community as well. Overall, the trading conditions is great. There's no spread on futures and there's minimal slippage compared to Forex markets. In terms of commissions, it depends on what platform you're using, but they are reasonable and usually below $5 per round trade. Each broker and platform will have their own slippage, but generally these brokers are pretty common and you should be okay. but I'd also just be careful of slippage if you're trading through highly volatile periods like trading during high impact news. So to wrap up, in my opinion, if you're a futures trader, Apex is definitely worth considering and is a good firm to trade with. So a few major pros that I like: there's a high likelihood that they will pay you out. It's relatively cheap and you can trade with up to 20 accounts. So in terms of cons, the biggest issues for me is that trailing drawdown, especially that it's based on unrealized intraday profits. Another thing is on the evaluation account, that trailing drawdown doesn't actually stop. It continues to follow you until your profit target. So in addition, there are a lot of rules that you have to meet in order to qualify for a payout. You just have to be careful of all these rules and be on top of it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. It would help my channel out a lot. Drop a comment below. Let me know if you traded with Apex and what your thoughts are. Also, be sure to check out my other trading videos where I backtested trading strategies and I reviewed other prop firms. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.